Hello everyone and welcome to Esports Unzipped, your hub for all things esports. My name's Karen Blunt and today I'll be going over how our esports teams have been doing, some major highlights for our esports teams, future events, and meta changes in the Hearthstone format that will be changing a lot of the game. So to start, on March 24th, our Overwatch team lost to Waterloo University 3-0. On April 1st, our Blue Hearthstone team beat the University of Wisconsin 3-0. Then, on April 2nd, our Blue Hearthstone team lost to the University of Colorado, and finally, our Gold Rocket League team beat Illinois University at the Northern Conference Championship 4-2. And then they went to the Final Four and beat the University of Redlands 4-0, and finally went to take the entire thing by beating the University of Central Florida 4-2. You all worked so hard to get where you are today and deserve some rest. You guys do an amazing job and always give me great highlights to work with. Not just them, but every team here at the University of Akron. And speaking of highlights, let's get to them, shall we?
It's overtime in the second round and no one has scored yet, meaning that whoever makes the first goal wins the round. Salt bounces off the wall and Buzz is able to line up the shot and make the goal. Sight from the University of Central Florida tried to get some ground on Akron, but Reticence knocks it right back, hitting it right for the goal. Salt comes flying in and threads the needle, getting the goal. If Akron wins this round, they win the entire collegiate championship. Buzz knocks it away from the goal to hopefully set up for another. Akron doesn't have to score here, they just have to make sure Central Florida doesn't. Demon knocks it back to hopefully send this game into overtime, but Salt and Reticence are there to block and Buzz comes flying in to get it away from their goal. Salt knocks it closer to the goal with Buzz bouncing it off the wall to set up for a shot, but Reticence hits it a tad too early. Bits goes for the wall, but Reticence knocks him away. Buzz tries to get the ball, but Demon is able to knock it back towards the goal, with Bits hitting it even further. The minute mark hits and Salt and Reticence are trying to keep the ball out of their goal. The ball goes high and Bits and Reticence both go for it, with Reticence hitting it just a fraction of a second earlier. Demon not having enough air to get the ball, it gets closer to their goal and Buzz comes charging in, making the final goal that seals the game and the collegiate championship.
As always, our teams do an incredible job and make my job of finding these highlights incredibly easy. For a future event, our Fighting Game Club will be facing off against Kent on April 13th. Our esports games have been slowing down as the year comes to an end, but when our Hearthstone teams play, their games won't be like anything that we've seen before. The Year of the Dragon has come, meaning that rotation has happened. This means that in standard and professional events, players can now no longer use the cards that were sent to the Hall of Fame, like Gen and Baku, as well as being unable to use cards from Journey to Ungoro, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and Kobolds and Catacombs, like the Quest cards, Death Knights and Lich King, or any of the legendary weapons. Without these cards, decks are completely changed from their previous incarnations. For example, the combo priest that worked off of Mind Blast and Shadow Reaver Anduin no longer works since he rotated out. But now, there's a new combo with Archmage Vargoth where you want to use his unique ability to spam Mind Blast to destroy your opponent. Decks like Midrange Hunter might still see play though, although without cards that let your beasts adapt, the deck has become significantly weaker. Before, the deck would want to play Dire Mole as your turn 1 play. Now it's become Shimmerfly. The deck did get a boost in power though with the card 9 Lives, being able to bring back your Savannah Highmane. And then there are the decks that have no hope of ever seeing play again. Decks like Odd Warrior and Even Warlock. With Gen and Baku going to the Hall of Fame, the Even and Odd decks will no longer be usable in Standard. Therefore, these extremely powerful decks now no longer exist, and the strategy behind them is essentially thrown out the window. But just because old decks are gone, that doesn't mean it's going to be a boring and stale game. Players are already coming up with amazing decks that might change the way Hearthstone is played. Even now, we see an older deck that was weak before become very powerful. This deck is Secret Paladin. Now, with a ton of new support cards that benefit from secrets, the power level of this deck has shot up. Cards like Commander Rissa, Mysterious Blade, Desperate Measures, and Sunreaver Spy. I'm extremely excited to see what decks our collegiate teams come up with and how they fare against the other schools.
Rare! Wow! Golden legendary!
But what do you guys think? Did I catch your favorite highlight? Do you like the new decks popping up in Hearthstone? Why don't you let me know by tweeting me at ZTVGoofingOff and be sure to use the hashtag Esports Unzipped. And don't forget to tune in to the #1 college-run esports talk show in the country on 88.1 WZIP every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for even more esports talk. As always, I'm Karen Blenton, and I'll see you guys next time.